what you putting on your headphones?
I'm somebody.
Yeah, them big and red.
Bigger red.
You look like Mickey Mouse.
Sideways,
Mickey
sorta.
Mouse. You look like Mickey Mouse. You don't have that big old weird.
Big old red
See, I have
headphones.
my best sleek and stylish black ones.
Yeah, but mine's JBLs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just big-eared listening.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Well,
man.
we've had a time.
Oh, my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, actually, lady and lady, it was your time. We had to replace a computer and a monitor and get programs put in, and then we had to recut bumper music because all the bumper music was in the other computer and this and that. And
Not much fun.
It was, geez, I never thought, oh, Lord.
It's bad.
Oh, Connie, don't worry about photogenic. We do not. We can do voice. We cannot do video right now.
Right now.
See, the computer that went down had a built-in camera that we used, and the monitor that we put in does not.
Does not. It does not.
Now we can hook up a camera to it.
We can.
If Chase we'd have to steal it from him.
He's pretty tight with his computer stuff.
Tight with
yeah, I know. Already, I told him about that. He's about ready to fight me, you know.
He was?
Yeah.
Why was
he? Over his computer.
Oh, I know, because we told him we have to steal his computer because our crap was broke. And he said, well, you just got some broke crap, that's all I can tell you, Pop. I love you. Mwah.
And touch my computer, you'll die. Dang it.
All right.
I was about to call Trevor.
I know, right? Hey, Trev, go buy us a computer. Would you mind? You know them credit cards you got? Go borrow one.
He'll say, I already gave you one.
Well, can we use it for a lot?
Yeah. But I don't want him mad at me. It's basically from Nathan.
Connie, I tell you what, if you're not doing nothing, go ahead and pull up your messenger because we're not recording yet. And call in, and let's see if this is going to work because we tested it one time, but we tested it with us.
Yeah,
and that don't mean
that don't mean nothing.
That don't mean nothing. We tested it in this little studio.
Yeah,
and I pulled out a computer that's been sitting over there for
I don't know how long.
7 months, and hadn't fired it up in 7 months or 6 months.
So we don't even know if it's going to last.
Yeah.
It could go like the cat.
And but anyways, I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna play a song, and we're gonna go. I don't know what song to play.
One of the ones that's got music.
Weird.
Apparently.
I want to do that. I'm gonna play that sad song I did last time.
Sad song.
That's a sad song I recorded.
Sad song.
I tell you, know what happened. Now listen to me, and I could show you video that would break your heart.
I don't want to be broke.
I could break your heart with some video, man. I broke my own damn heart.
You talking about the walk?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got video of me when I first started trying to sing it. Oh, it's pitiful. I'm a mess. Oh Lord, I get. I want my daddy.
I want my daddy.
I want my daddy. I was I couldn't make it through. Oh. Well, let's see if she's actually there. Listen.
Yeah.
Hello, Connie.
Oh, she's not there yet. We're working on it.
It's loading.
It's coming.
We're working on it.
It's coming. Uh-oh.
Hello?
Yep, we're there.
Hello.
Hello, Connie. Hey, Rusty.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I can barely hear you.
Well, hang on. I can make you hear me a little bit better. Now listen. Don't listen to your computer on the show part. You can listen to the messenger. Don't listen to the computer, or you will get really screwed up.
I'll be bouncing off the walls.
Well, yeah, because if you listen to the computer, it's going to be like 15 seconds behind. And
there'll be a delay, yeah.
Yeah, big. How are you doing?
Doing good. I was doing a little research while y'all were off air, and also watching the shooting game. I was kind of getting into it. I kept thinking, now, Bill wants to play this. There was some kind of competition. Evidently, it's Spanish and Middle Eastern.
That don't sound good.
I don't know. I ain't done it.
I got to tell you, does Bill watch that show? Because I watch it all the time. That Forged in Fire. Does he watch that?
He has not. I tried to tape it for him one time, but I couldn't pin him down to look at it.
Wait a minute. Did you just say I tried to tape it? Tape? Really? You guys got a tape? You got a tape machine? Do you? You got a Betamax? Do you?
VCR.
I got me one of them new Betamaxes.
I told you I'm old. I used to have a Beta, actually. I remember when we a gazillion years ago got the high-end quality Betamax.
Yes.
And then we had the VHS. But yes, I still have VHS, but I also have, well, DVD, but I hear that's going
That's
down
gone.
too.
That's going quick.
That's gone. If you haven't got a Blu-ray player, a 4K Blu-ray player, you're behind the times. You know what I don't have?
Well,
I don't have a Blu-ray 4K player.
I got a green one.
Here's what I can't figure out. Why does anybody record shows or play movies or go rental? Because everything's online. It's already
I know. We're too technological. You saw how long it took me to figure out how to use the daggone phone. Can you see me with a bunch of wires trying to hook up that mess?
Oh Lord.
Look, I saw this thing yesterday. It was on this little beach, and there was a picture, and you could make out it was a cassette tape, and you could actually make out the label on it, and it was a Leonard Skinner, one of their off their first album or something. But anyway, this little guy found it. And he took it up to his mom, and it was kind of muddy and crusted over and stuff. He says, "Mama, is this from the Civil War?"
I learned how to do my first splicing on cassette tape.
I know.
When it was an emergency and you had a party coming
That's
up,
right.
you were always looking for a knife with a sharp tip because you surely didn't have a screwdriver.
Yeah. I know, right? Well, listen, Connie, we're going to play a song, and then we're going to come back, and we will record our first segment. First off, there it is. Now this song, I got to tell you, I recorded this song last night, and I was fooling around all over the internet. You know how I get. And I was trying to find me some good old stuff, and oh my gosh, I found this old Sawyer Brown song that I sang back in the '80s, and oh my Lord, I was in the floor bawling. I was bawling like a little. It broke my heart so bad. It broke, and then I played it for my sister and my brother, and my sister said, "You need to record that one." So, ladies, here we go. Here it is. Here it is. Down our long dusty driveway, I didn't want to go, but I set out with tears in my eyes, wondering. And Daddy took me by the hand, looked out at that school bus and his little man, and said, "Don't worry, boy, it'll be alright. I took this walk you're walking now, boy. I've been in your shoes, and you can't hold back. The hands of time is just something you gotta do. So dry your eyes, I understand just what you're going through. 'Cause I took this same walk with my old man, boy. I've been in your shoes. Down our long dusty driveway, I set my mind to go. I was 18 and wild and free and wondering. And Daddy took me by the hand, looked out at the world and at his grown man, and said, "Don't worry, boy, it'll be alright." I took this walk you're walking now, boy. I've been in your shoes, and you can't hold back. The hands of time is just something you gotta do. So dry your eyes, I understand just what you're going through. 'Cause I took this same walk with my old man, boy, I've been in your shoes. And down our long dusted driveway, this time we both would go. He had grown old and gray, and his mind was a-wondering. But Daddy took me by the hand, said, I know where we're going, and I understand. Don't worry, boy, it'll be alright. 'Cause I took this walk you're walking now, boy, I've been in your shoes. And you can't hold back the hands of time, it's just something you gotta do. So dry your eyes, I understand just what you're going through. 'Cause I took this same walk with my old man, boy, I've been in your shoes. 'Cause I took this same walk with my old man, boy, I've been in your shoes. Look out, y'all. It's the Not Quite Right Show. We are up. We are happening. We are prime time. And we have a show for you tonight, today, this afternoon, this morning. Well, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, we got one.
We got one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the new music, man. I like it. I like it. Oh, we can keep that one. All right. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How about you?
Man, if I was any better, I would, well, I'd be you.
Yeah. Then you would be doing really good.
Yeah, I'd be doing, just off the chain good.
Off the chain.
Welcome to today's show. Now, we have been, of course, keeping up with current events.
Yeah, we're doing that.
And I saw something on the news the other day, and we have talked about a plethora of things. Now, last week was a very cool show because we did like a what were you doing in high school kind of a show.
Yeah. And
we had a lot of fun. We got a bunch of response. We had people calling us from all over the place, from just all over the place.
Yeah.
And this week, though, at the very beginning of the week, something caught my eye on the television. And I really hadn't heard that much about it since. And we got plenty to talk about with the National Guard being deployed and blah, 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 all that. We'll get to it. But I saw where Blue Cross, in their efforts to help out, quotation marks, help with the opioid crisis has decided that they will no longer fill prescriptions for painkillers except for 1 week at a time.
Saw that.
Did you see that?
I did.
You didn't mention it to me.
Well, I didn't mention it. I thought, holy moly, there's going to be some sad people. There's a lot of trips to the doctor.
Believe me, I understand the need for a war on opioids. I understand that. I get that. But you're doing it kind of backwards. There's a lot of people getting caught in the crossfire here that nobody seems to be talking about, that nobody seems to be interested in. You know who those people are, Kenny?
The ones that need the opioid.
The ones who actually need the stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! And we've had, I've had people on our prep shows that have texted in and said, Rusty, you need to do a segment on this. You need to do it. And I said, I did a whole show on it. And they're right. So we're back at it today because we need to find some answers for, logical answers. And if you want, you can call in now, and we'll get to you. If it rings, just let it ring. I will get to it. And if you hear me pick up, but you don't hear me say nothing, it's because I'm not talking.
Yeah.
But now, all right.
But we be listening.
Yeah. And I know I've got a couple of people who have been lined up that we're going to call in. Connie was going to call in, and Bill. We got a couple of people. Bill is actually going in front of some congressmen to give a presentation on his views of what's going on. And it's going to be real interesting to actually see what he has to say. There has been a lot of people that have been caught in the crossfire here, in the efforts to curtail, whatever the word is, curtail.
There you go.
With a K. Curtail the addiction epidemic that has plagued. I mean, and it has affected it. I know people who have been affected by it. You know people who have been affected by it. It is. We're not saying that this is not a problem. It is a huge, massive problem, and we realize that. But and with that being said, not only is it a problem, but there are other people that are getting damaged. I guess we'll call it collateral damage. Collateral damage. Would that be good?
That'd be good. That'll work.
We'll use
collateral damage.
We'll call them collateral damage.
Yeah.
And you're saying, well, Rusty, how do you know about this? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I myself suffer from certain ailments, certain pains.
Other than being old.
It has a lot to do with it, I think. But it has it has affected me in many, many, many ways. And I myself go to a specific pain clinic once a month and get a prescription. And I'm not complaining about it because I don't mind some of the little inconveniences that have happened at all. But I can see where it would be a major, major problem. I think we got somebody on the phone here. Connie, are you there?
I'm here.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Rusty. Been looking forward to this.
I know, right? Now, I'll let you know ahead of time just because we are time constrained. We got time. We got like 5 minutes that we can talk about this. I'm going to tell you what I see, and then you can put your spin on it, and you can tell me what you think. What I feel like is going on is the intention is good in what they're trying to get done, but the group of people that I feel like have just been left out of the consideration of all of this are those patients who actually need those medicines. I have found it that some of them have to be recertified with their insurance almost every month now. That there's certain times that the doctors can't write the scripts. There's just been so many limitations put on that some of the people that really need these meds are not getting them.
Yeah, it absolutely. And the problem, it's not even. Uh, there's so many problems with the whole thing.
Right.
Let me put it that way.
Okay.
A lot of these medications that people are on, for instance, you opened the show saying that, there's this movement. I'm sorry, I'm stuck in movement mode
today.
To have a script written for only a week at a time. Well, right. That doesn't work because a lot of drugs are loading doses. So you're barely getting your loading dose where the pain is going away and the drug has become effective before you got to go back again.
And what you just said. What you just said, when you have to go back again. Now, I made no bones about it that I go to a pain clinic. That pain clinic is 45 miles from my house. So
the one Bill goes to is 2 hours.
So that's what I'm saying. So now they not only are they restricting what helps me, but now they've made it even harder for me to get it because it's getting to where you've got to buy gas, you've got to have co-pays, you've got to have this, and instead of doing that once a month, now you got to do it 4 times a month.
Well, and my angle on this, I come at it from a treatment point of view, working with people that are in the legal system and they're on probation, et cetera, and we would be trying to get them treatment,
right?
Okay, for lots of different things. What happens is, what they're creating here is the same thing that happened in the Depression. People are not going to have legal access, and so they're going to make their own access to drugs.
Right.
So you're going to have a lot of law enforcement getting involved in this. People don't see that coming. One of the
but if you talk to law enforcement now, they're already saying we can't deal with it now. The jails are loaded with it.
That's right, but they're not making it any easier to deal with it. There's so much wrong with this. For instance, one of the medications, or the medication that Bill is on, and I won't name it, but it was just randomly reclassified a couple of years ago. Before that, the doctors wrote for it. There was no problem. You could get, 10-month dose. It's the same drug.
Right.
Now they're classifying it as something highly addictive. I printed out the drug schedules. If anybody wants to find their drug, go online and type out North Carolina drug schedules.
Right.
And it will show a broad listing of what's there. The one drug you won't see, and this is going to become a big problem, trust me, alcohol.
Oh, no, yeah.
Well, that's a different thing altogether.
Oh, that's a whole nother show, sweetheart.
But it actually, from a treatment point of view, though, it's not.
You're right.
Because it's legal, and probably the people that wrote these stupid laws just finished their martini lunch.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I feel about it.
All right, sweetie. I tell you what. Now listen, we got to head into a break. But you stay on the phone. Don't you dare go nowhere. And we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk some more. We are talking about the opioid crisis and those being affected by it that are what I'm calling collateral damage, which is some of the patients that actually need the medicines are finding it either too hard to get, or now they're going to have to go get it on a weekly basis. And we'll be back after the break. All right, we are clear.
Clear.
We're clear. Clear. Get the shocky things, man. All right. Woo. We got. Oh, by the way, hello, peoples out there listening and watching. How y'all doing?
How y'all doing?
How y'all doing? We're talking about the opioid crisis and some of the other things that are going on. I tell you what, we're gonna do. We're just gonna go right back into it again. And hang on, let me get my computer set up here, Connie, and we'll do the intro and we'll come right back to you. We got to go to. By the way, this next segment is going to be a 10-minute segment. So I'll try to cue you in when we're getting close, so you'll know, because we got that music that plays out.
Yeah, you say, Connie, you still?
Yeah, man. So hang on.
We're not recording.
I know I'm not recording. I don't want to be recording right now. I'm going to record.
Because you're drinking?
I'm drinking heavily. I need me some brown liquor. I can't. Boy, I should do that one show. How long can Rusty drink before he don't know his name? Yeah, everybody's got to wait now. Rusty needs a cup of coffee. So y'all, I'm putting everybody on hold. Play a video.
Yeah, play a video.
I'll play a video. I'm going to go make a cup of coffee. Yeah, we'll play some Eagles. Here, I'm going to go make coffee. It's the Not Quite Right Show. We are back. We have guestesses, Kenny. We have guestesses and phone calls. Now listen, if you would like to call in the show, oh yeah, I forgot this part. It's kind of important. We are 95.1 FM, 1450 AM, News Talk, WDNG. And if you would like to be a part of the show, well, you can text us at 252-622-1470. We are taking phone calls. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? We're so technically advanced. Yep. We are taking phone calls on Messenger, and on Messenger right now we are speaking with Connie. Hey, Connie.
Hello again.
And we are talking about the opioid. Opioid epidemic, the war on opioids, and now. But we're taking a different kind of a look at it. We are actually looking at some of the collateral damage that seems to be going on in this war against opioids. A war that needs to be. I have a hard time saying it's a war. I don't have a hard time saying it's an epidemic. Everybody knows somebody who has been affected by this, and everybody. But in the process of getting a handle on it, there is collateral damage happening. Now, first off, Connie, you made a statement. Now, I got to know this before I go back to see my doctor. You said something about alcohol. Now, am I going to have to get me a script for Crown Royal?
Well, we had prohibition once. I mean, I really do see a lot of this as a slippery slope. I was just kind of scanning these drug schedules, and I really would suggest that people look at this. It tells you what kind of drugs are at what level schedule and what potential for abuse they have. But here's one that cracks me up every time, and again, without alcohol being on any of them.
Right.
And alcohol is probably the most physically debilitating drug that we have.
Well, it's put me on my back a couple of times.
Well, yeah, and it goes way further than that. Look, I could be the poster child for darts. We won't even go there. I know all of these schedules. Let's just put it that way. But we had a friend. It was a friend of yours too. Not about a year and a half ago, that OD'd on cough syrup.
Wow.
And it was a dear friend, and they'll say cough medicines with codeine, okay,
right,
over the counter has a low potential for abuse. Let me tell you, there are not many drug addicts that I know that I've worked with, or any studies that I've ever encountered where people don't do things like, you won't even believe it, drink vanilla extract.
Oh, yeah. That honey.
Drink mouthwash, all those things.
Oh, yes.
And that's what's so frightening about this, is that they kind of willy-nilly put these schedules in there. For instance, this one cracks me up. These were the hardest clients to try to get into help. Potheads. But
that's legal.
I'm telling you,
that's legal.
But they won't legalize it in North Carolina.
It's legal.
That's a whole nother ball of wax.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Folks know how conservative I am and how law enforcement I am. And you're talking about all these other things, and I've seen it firsthand. I've seen. Now people do like bath beads,
Tide Pods,
and Tide Pods, and all these. But I'm gonna be really just brutally honest with you guys. After going through what I went through with my mother and her cancer, and then going through what I went through with my father, if smoking pot would have helped either one of them, we would have been two of the highest people in Carteret County.
Well, and you know what? The fact of it is, it would help people.
Exactly.
And I have a lot of friends that are. I have a couple that are somehow able to get their pain medications on a regular basis from their primary physician.
Right.
But I have a lot of friends also that hadn't smoked weed in 30 years. Well, we're all pushing 60 now, and people with cancer and such. That's something else that's interesting to me in this war on opiates. Speaking of your mom.
Right.
They keep saying they've got these alternatives. They've got an alternative to the opiates. That's what we're working on. But they never tell you what the alternative is.
Yeah, I know. I can tell you. It hurt.
Yeah, pain.
There you go.
Pain.
There you go. And it really is. It's so cost inefficient. It's so cost inefficient because all you're doing is adding to the caseload of the physician who's trying to be responsible, and they're terrified because of, they can get sued. And then you got the pain clinics who have they have accountability to a certain degree.
Right.
But nobody's interconnected. Nobody sits down and has a staff meeting, as it were.
It amazes me how much the insurance companies and the doctor's offices don't talk.
Oh, they don't at all. Trust me, I'm in the middle of applying for Medicaid and Medicare. I have absolutely no health insurance in this state.
It's crazy. I go to get a prescription filled, and my pharmacist says, well, your insurance says you have to be recertified, or they put a hold on this for something. You need to call your insurance company. And I call my insurance company, and they say, well, you need to call your doctor. So I call my doctor, and the doctor says, well, I got clearance right here. And it takes them 3 or 4 days of talking back and forth to know, oh, well, he's supposed to have this.
Well, that's right. That's the crux of it. And, severe, I even heard something so stupid the other day, I almost fell down, that they were considering even changing medications for cancer payments and taking away opiates. Now, I'm sorry, but you've got somebody
crazy. That's crazy.
It is crazy, but that is the direction that this is going in.
You know what that is? That's somebody who's never sit beside their mother when they're eat up with cancer.
Right.
That's what that is.
That's right. That's right.
Because, like I said, I'm so pro law enforcement. But if smoking a joint would have eased her pain, and I'm sure it would have, now, mama,
you gonna take up smoking?
You on a bong? What do you want, baby? We're gonna,
yeah. And I hate to keep harping on the booze thing, because look, we won't even get started on my life story, and I'm paying for it now. But I would much rather have a pothead going 2 miles an hour like Cheech and Chong behind me than have a drunk any day.
Yeah.
You never hear of a high-speed crash involving marijuana. He hit that car going 3.
I don't think we're moving, man.
Well,
it's really sad. It's really sad.
Well,
And I don't know what people are going to actually do now. I have a lot of issues with pain.
Right.
But when I was getting ready to say certifiable, which I still am. But when I was certified to work in this field, I purposely chose not, I just live with it. I've gotten so used to it. And mine's not as debilitating as some others.
Right.
And so I've learned how to deal with that. But I chose not to go this route because I could see what was happening. Because when you're sitting there with the Serpico police, and I don't mean any disrespect, because there are a lot of good law officers, but when you're working a western county in North Carolina, I can assure you that the bulk of those probation officers are less concerned with the pain of the people that are coming in and making sure that they're getting to a treatment program. They just shove them into a methadone program. And
which is its own ball of wax.
That is a horrible thing. I had people drop dead left and right, ODing from their methadone. And they were in a program where they went daily. It's real frustrating, because the majority of people that are using pain medications, they're not what we call in the trade seekers.
Right.
They have a legitimate reason for needing this medication. And, what's next? You tell somebody, oh, well, you're not going to get your blood pressure medicine, try yoga. Now, I practice yoga, but that's not going to help my blood pressure that much.
No, but it will tighten up them thighs, baby.
I don't have any left. That goes back to the alcohol.
All right, gang. We are talking about the opioid epidemic. And coming up, we're going to be talking with a guy his name is Bill Rutter, who maybe give us some suggestions on a solution for all of this. And we got that and a whole bunch more coming up in the next segment. We are the Not Quite Right Show, and we will be back after the break.
Okay, he's going to be ready for you. I'll give you keys. You can't stand in front of the key. Well, no, it's not feedback. It's a delay, and it confuses you. So if you park over here, it works.
Clear! Claire! Claire!
It's on there. He can probably still talk.
Uh-huh.
Hello, Mr. May.
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Going fine. Good to hear you.
You too, buddy. You too. Oh me. All right. I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna play a video, and then you just hang on, and I will be back in about 3 minutes. Okay?
Oh yeah.
All right, buddy. We fixing to get serious up in here, y'all. We are happening. We are just, man, I was not expecting all of this, but wow. Just wow. We are talking about the opioid epidemic and what is going on with that. We have been talking to Connie, and we got somebody new on the phone we're going to be talking to in just a second. I know that the fellow that we are fixing to talk to is going to be talking to some Congress people and some political people and people that know more than I do.
Impossible.
I know, right? I find that hard to believe. But his name is Bill Rutter, and how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right, now, first off, I have heard rumors and propaganda that you are going to be discussing this very subject with several people, and tell me about it.
Well, I'm a pain patient too, and I'm a registered nurse. Been practicing for over 20 years, and so I can see both sides of the issue. And having experienced problems and seeing other patients, it's a legislative solution, is what it is. And as a matter of fact, I meet tomorrow with one representative, one state representative, and then the following week I meet with the other. One's a House, one's a Senate representative, and it's a lot to cover. I mean, it goes all the way from the primary care physicians being forced out of managing pain patients, all the way through to regulatory issues, the DEA, and even some fraud. So it's a lot of things going on.
Well, now that you said that, real quickly, I'll recap. This is Rusty's story. The best way I know is self-experience, and that way I can tell you exactly what happened to Rusty because I was there. All right, here's what's going on. I go to my regular doctor, and I have these pains and these issues, and they send me for all kinds of tests. They send me for all kinds of shots and treatments and all of this. And my primary care doctor for about almost 8 months was writing me a script for pain medicine. Now I would they would only give it to me 2 weeks at a time or something like that. And anyway, I go to my doctor one day, and all of a sudden, they can't write that no more. And they said that we're going to have to refer you to a pain clinic. I said, fine, no problem. And so that's what they did. It took 4 months. 4 months to get an appointment with a pain clinic. And in that time, there's no meds.
No.
And now it seems like they keep changing the game up with regulations of what the insurance companies will do, and especially if it's a government like Medicaid or Medicare, that can change in a heartbeat, and you don't know it until you go to try to get your pain meds filled.
That's correct. And I had a very similar experience when we moved up here from Beaufort in 2014. I wasn't cognizant of what was going on at the time. And when we moved up here, we had to find a new primary care, and kept getting turned down, or I kept getting turned down, and I couldn't figure out why, and they wouldn't tell me. And finally, I talked to one primary care who did accept me in the end, and he said the reason is because what they're doing is they're going to the North Carolina Controlled Substances data bank, which all the doctors can call in, or healthcare providers, and see what a patient's on and what their refills frequency is, all this. Well, the primary care doctors don't want to take on a chronic pain patient, so they go to the reporting system, they check it, and they just refuse as a patient. And I spoke to a representative. I was concerned about that, called it, because anybody that knows me knows I've never been a druggie or even a drinker. And I got him to check my information, because you have the right to know what's in your own information at this data bank. And he said, well, there's nothing here that I see that indicates any kind of seeking behavior. But furthermore, the physicians are not supposed to be using this data for that purpose. It's not that he stopped short of saying it was illegal, but he said that it's not good practice to do that.
Right.
Because that's not what the data bank's for. It's really to detect doctor shopping and things like that.
Exactly.
That's what it's for.
Well, and that makes sense.
Right. Well, but let's be clear about it. A pain patient, when they go to a clinic, there are many different ways they keep an eye on you. One is a urine drug screen.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first thing.
Yep.
The second thing they're going to do is check the North Carolina Controlled Substances data bank.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're going to do pill counts to see if when you got it filled last time, and let's say you've still got that bottle, and they'll just do a count and say, well, as of this date, you got it 3 weeks ago, you should have this many pills left if you took it right. And then the count does a count match.
Absolutely.
Then you have the clinical presentation. How does the patient appear? You know, what are their vital signs? Do they look okay? Do they act okay?
Right.
And so there's many different ways, but the pain clinics, now there have been some federal prosecutions about this. There's two different kind of urine tests. There's the quantitative and the qualitative. One screens for the presence of drugs. The other one tells you the concentration in the patient's urine or if they draw out blood.
Right.
The two are not supposed to be drawn together. And typically what will happen to me and what I see on research on the internet and talking to other patients, these drug screens can be from several hundred to several $1,000s. And the clinic that I went to wanted to see you every 2 months. I was getting hit with $1,200 urine tests every 2 months. Every 2 months. And the federal government was, we got to be clear about this. You got to follow the money.
Right.
They forced the primary cares out. Then it created the need for this pain clinic business.
And they popped up everywhere.
Everywhere. And the research that I've shown, the federal government's own estimation is it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And these urine drug tests that's a main source of their income. And if you go to the North Carolina Medical Board site, they have adopted the CDC guidelines as for prescribing opiates and monitoring of patients and stuff. And it's defensible to do drug screening on the first visit. After that, you do it randomly or for cause. If you have suspicion, the doctor has to suspicion. Say your count's wrong, or they smell weed on you, or they suspect whatever.
You come in eating a bag of Doritos.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the problem is that these are very expensive tests, and it got to be so abused that there were a couple of high-profile prosecutions. Some of them out of Florida. It's on the net, and it was fraud. It was just frank fraud.
Right.
And go ahead.
And mine, well, like I said, with me, I'll tell you exactly how my visits go. I go every month. When I walk in the door, I go to the window. They get my information. They hand me my cup, and that is every month, without fail. And after that, and then I go see the doctor. He examines me. We talk for a while, and that's it.
Well, interestingly enough, this not really related, but it's an interesting observation, is that they wanted to drug screen. There was a big push to drug screen people that were receiving government aid or welfare or whatever.
Right.
And there's been a lot of resistance to that. But yet, the patient who lives in pain is getting hit every time they go for these expensive tests. And I found out that I think it was the ACLU was pursuing this. I think it was Idaho, I believe it was. Anyhow, there was a lawsuit under the Fourth Amendment about doing these drug tests. And the other thing is that you don't do any medical test without there being a legitimate reason for that. And part of these suits were from the feds were that they were doing these tests as carte blanche on everybody without justifying it medically.
Right.
Especially in the quantitative and qualitative, because if you come up with say you're on, let's just use my case. I don't care, people.
Right.
Say I'm on tramadol.
Right.
Okay, so they'll screen me for cannabis, opiates, whatever. None of that should be in my blood.
Right.
But let's just make the assumption that it was. Just say.
Well, I tell you what, Bill.
That.
Bill, hang on just a second. We got to go to a break, but we will come back and we will finish this in our next segment. We are the Not Quite Right show, and this is interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I like this.
I'm learning stuff.
I'm learning. And we will be back after the break.
Hey, Rusty, can you hear me? Hey, Rusty, something I wanted to tell you that's interesting.
Uh-huh.
If you look at the DEA reclassified tramadol in 2014 as a Schedule 4.
It's the Not Quite Right Show. I'm Rusty Mace, your host. We are 95.1 FM, 1450 AM, News Talk, WDNG. Hi there. We are talking about the war on opiates. We are talking about how that is affecting regular folk. And we got guests. We have Bill Rudder on the phone with us, and we're going to be talking with him. And you know what? I guess my biggest question now would be what is the solution? How can the people that need the meds get the meds and still have this curtail the abuse of it? Is it, Bill? Is it more a problem with fraud, or is it? Do you think that most of the illegal use of opiates are coming from our borders?
Well, it's interesting you bring that up, because one of the things I noticed back in my home county, there's been a big initiative by the sheriff there, under different names, or stings, if you will, to arrest people that are involved in drug trade. And he's done a good job with that. But if you look at the charges and what they were arrested for, by and large, they're not opiates. They're methamphetamines and heroin, to a lesser degree weed, but mostly methamphetamine. Interestingly enough, a lot of the overdoses that you hear about as far as opiates are from fentanyl. Now, fentanyl dilaudid in morphine are hospital-grade medicines. Outside of the hospital, it's usually only given in hospice. So the question I had was, in the case of fentanyl, where is this coming from? Well, it looks like a lot of it's coming from Mexico.
Right.
But again, this has nothing to do with prescription medicine. Or prescription.
Now what they're going to argue, though, Bill, what they're going to argue is, well, I went to the doctor, I had a sprained ankle, and he gave me a Percocet, and now 4 months later, I'm on fentanyl. There seems to be no personal responsibility.
Well, you touched on another very important thing: physician responsibility. Draw a comparison between the indiscriminate dispensing. Back in the 90s, medicine was criticized. We're not controlling pain enough. So it swung the other way, way the other way, to a lot of indiscriminate prescribing. But consider this. We saw the same thing with antibiotics that brought us resistive or resistant strains of bacteria that today we can hardly kill off, because a patient will go in, I got a cold, which is viral, nothing it's not bacterial, antibiotics not going to touch it. I want it, the doctor wrote for it, and boom, you start having these resistant organisms. The second thing are cumin in your blood thinners. Vitamin K suppressant is cumin. Well, you got to monitor the patient. If you don't, they can bleed out. It killed my mother. It's killed some other people I know in Beaufort. Mm-hmm. So that's another example. Third example are mental health medications. You have primary cares that were writing for mental health medicines, didn't really know what they're doing, didn't monitor them, and then all of a sudden you got, they're having, homicidal, suicidal breaks, whatever. So it's not just the opiates that were a problem. Responsible prescribing, but you got to remember the environment today. The doctors are under, whether it's financial or what, to see as many patients as they can in the day. It's not like it's not like it was. It's not like when we were growing up, where Dr. Salter, Dr. Wade, all these people, they knew us on a first name basis.
And come to the house.
Today,
come to the house.
Yeah, they knew your history. They knew what your needs were. It's not like that today. They might see 50, 60, one doctor, 50, 60 patients a day.
Right. Well, when they're making their appointments in 15-minute blocks.
Right.
I don't care who you are. You can't get to know everything you need to know in 15 minutes.
No.
But that's what the appointments are. They're 15-minute blocks, and it's like herding cattle when you go to the doctor's office. They're going to get as many as they can in, and that's just the way it is.
Well, we've got it. This is a very serious problem. It's like we were talking off the air, that the incidents since 2014, when the genesis of the so-called opiate war, and the severe narrowing down of access of patients, to be seen, much like you were indicating, get an appointment, to be seen, much less get their needs met. Suicide rate has sharply increased amongst chronic pain patients as a group. And secondly, if they can't get their medicines, they got a choice: live in pain or not. And if they can't get their medicine, some go to alcohol, some, like I said, commit suicide, some go to street drugs. I think a certain percentage, I don't know the number, of the illegal or people arrested or whatever involved in drug trade are people trying to escape pain that can't get treated. And another thing that's getting left out, these chronic pain or these pain patients sometimes don't take Medicaid. They don't like Medicare, and if you don't have insurance, they're not going to take you.
Right.
And then the cost is so high. How many people could afford $1,200-$1,500 urine test, not including the office visit fee, a couple $100 for that every 2 months?
And the cost of the meds themselves.
Exactly. Well, tramadol is about $200. My prescription is about $200.
Wow.
For 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, man, what is the solution though? I mean, how do we get? Is this all going to be? Is this a legislative solution? To me, this is going to be another moral issue, and I just don't see how you can legislate moral issues. But
Rusty, I think it comes down to accountability. I think part of it's legislative, but another part of it is enforcement, but not from the direction that's traditionally or universally thought of. The physician's hands, according to the North Carolina Board, each patient the doctor has to treat that patient based on what the true medical needs are of that patient, independent of external forces. Now, this is a paraphrase, but what they're saying is that the doctor, if there's a conflict of interest with something else, the doctor's supposed to always act in the patient's best interest. That's not what's going on. They're acting in the doctor's best interest vis-a-vis, we're not going to prescribe this because we're afraid of the DEA. We're afraid of the medical board. We're afraid of litigation. We're so on and so forth. So they scared the primary care doctor out of pain management.
Right.
So that's what created this limited access problem. This is the dirty little secret. This is the dirty little thing. People hear these things on TV about, 1-800-SUE-A-DOCTOR and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
People, in the absence of death or grave bodily injury, you don't have any recourse, because if you go to the North Carolina statutes on malpractice, there's a little thing called meeting a non-J requirement.
Right.
What that means is, to bring a suit, you have to have an expert that's willing to testify, a qualified expert that's willing to testify that in this case, the pain clinic is guilty of malpractice.
Well, Bill, listen, buddy, we got to stop for a break. But I got to tell you, this has been very informative, and I want to thank you guys for coming on. We're the Not Quite Right Show, and we got more coming your way after the break.
Yeah.
Yep, we're clear.
We're clear.
We're clear.
You're clear.
We're clear. We're ever clear. Oh, you got to have a prescription for that,
That's
too.
180 proof.
Yeah.
Champagne in a little short skirt, or a cold beer in a Motley Crue t-shirt. She don't seem to notice all the heads that turn around when the girl walks in. Ah yeah, when the girl walks in. Wherever she's at, that's the place to be, and every man in the house wishing he was me when the girl walks in. When the girl walks in. And when the good Lord made her and he turned her loose, he gave a double dose of sassy, yes, and sexy juice. The only thing he didn't put in, he didn't let her know what she does to men. And the guys can't help it, they start up from her seat, and damn, we'd forget to play. Well, it's just too hard to resist. I forget just what to do when the girl walks in. When the girl walks in, got a funky beat, hitting hard and loud. Gotta keep my eyes on the crowd when the girl walks in. Oh, when the girl walks in, come on, cause she struts her stuff. She does a little dip. When she's on the floor, you couldn't ask for more, cause you're headed on a fantasy trip. It ain't her fault, she don't know how much she pulls you in. You can look, but don't you touch that boy, you'll fall in love. When the girl walks in.
It's the Not Quite Right Show. We are back. How y'all doing? We are 95.1 FM, 1450 AM, News Talk, WDNG. Today we have been talking about the opioid crises facing the United States and what is being done and who is being affected. And what can we do about it? What is the right answer? What is the cause and effect? And how is it affecting normal patients? Patients just trying to find some relief for their pain are finding themselves in the crossfire of a war on drugs. And we have been talking to a friend of mine. His name is Bill Rutter. He is still with us, I believe. Hey, Bill.
Hey.
Hey, I'm still here, man. Don't forget me. I'm still here.
Mr. Bill.
All right. You know, what you're going to be talking to some state legislators, Senate and House, and what is it that you think is going to be the answer for all of this? What is going to turn the tables on this?
Well, I think I'm looking at it from a patient's perspective. I'm not going to address law enforcement and any of that kind of stuff.
Right.
But one of the things is we have to be what I'm proposing to the legislator tomorrow is an enforced patient bill of rights, is what I call it. It deals with the pain patient specifically, can be applied to patients in general. And they're all common sense, and a lot of them parallel the standards that the AMA and the state board have. But one of the things is basic, as a preamble, the first thing I've got is the right to be as pain-free as possible, as medically possible. I think that's a patient's right.
I agree with that.
As pain-free as possible. Another one is the right to be treated as all other patients regardless of diagnosis. That's not the case today. A pain patient is seen in a totally different light. It kind of harkens back to the day of the HIV patient when they were treated differently.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw laws created. That's how HIPAA came about.
Right.
But pain patients should be treated the same regardless of diagnosis. Then there needs to be an enforced standard of care for the pain patient. And the other thing is, presently we have a disincentive for the physicians to treat pain patients. There needs to be the opposite, incentives for physicians to treat the pain patient.
You're talking about primary care.
Primary care, that's true. Primary care is primarily, but there needs to be incentive other than just sheer financial gain. Okay?
Okay.
Then the other problem is the acceptance or access, being accepted as a patient. That's a problem. So there needs to be enforced standards about accepting or dismissing patients. One of the things I think is interesting, Rusty, is that in the legal system, if a person is charged with a crime and they can't afford a lawyer, one's appointed for them. Well, that lawyer is either a public defender or one selected by the court at large. The point being, it's a fail-safe, that if nothing else works, they have a lawyer appointed for them. A similar thing needs to exist in medicine. If you got a chronic pain patient, or any patient for that matter, that has been through, cannot find a doctor, they will not take that patient like they wouldn't back in the early HIV days. There needs to be a safety net. And it cannot be the emergency room. The emergency rooms cannot handle this, and they're not going to handle it. No. But there needs to be a fail-safe system to where they can be seen by a doctor. The other thing is dismissals. The North Carolina Board, in their position statement, says they recognize the right for a doctor to refuse to take a patient or dismiss a patient without justifying it. I think that is wrong. There needs to be some accountability and a standard of care there. Okay. As far as the medical board goes,
right,
there needs to be inclusion of stakeholders on the board or accessible to the board. Interestingly enough, when I looked up the details on the board members, 2 of them have interests in pain clinics. So they're not likely to rule impartially on a pain clinic.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. Yep. And the rest of them are there. I mean, one of them's an ex-anesthesiologist that has an. The other one is a nurse practitioner that has an interest in a pain clinic. Then there needs to be some way for patients to directly report to somebody in government that has the authority to do something when there's a problem. So that, because how many people are actually going to go see their representatives? I mean, really. And really, the representatives only pay attention when there's a large number of people doing something. But if you have a way that people can report and say, this is the horror story, this is what's going on, you know, I believe people would do that. But they have to have the authority to do something about it, and that doesn't exist right now.
Well, so, yeah, man. Listen, dude, I appreciate all this. This has been very interesting and very eye-opening for me. It's been very good, and I appreciate you calling in and being part of the show, Bill.
Sure.
All right.
I enjoyed it.
All right, buddy. You have a great day, and let me know how those meetings turn out.
I will. Let me say one thing.
Sure.
We're awful proud of you, Rusty.
All right. Thank you, big boy. I appreciate it, buddy. All right. Bye-bye. So now, here we go. What do you think, Kenny? What's the answer?
Well, I don't know what the answer is. You know, we're talking about the patient and the one that's in pain, but there is so many that abuse it.
Yeah, and
that's where the rub comes in.
Exactly. You can't be a. I don't know. This is not a one size fits all kind of a problem.
No, it is not.
And I don't know what the answer is. I wished I did. I wished there was a magic thing that I could go. There you go. And people who need the meds could get it, and those who want to abuse it couldn't.
There you go. I'd vote for that.
Yeah, seems simple enough to me. That's what we do. We'll pass a law. Those who need it can get it, and those who are going to abuse it, you can't.
Can't get it.
Can't get it.
That's See, we should be in Congress.
I know. We could
Senate.
Just have them fill out a questionnaire. Are you going to abuse this? And if they say yes,
we say
can't
no.
get it. No medicine for you. I could be the Percocet Nazi. No Percocet for you. You abuse no. It is. I make fun because that's what I do.
Well,
and it is a very.
At one time,
if
you needed the medicine, you took the medicine.
Exactly.
Now it's not like that.
Not at all.
It
has things have
There's
gone.
A lot of money made in selling opioids.
Oh, man.
Or it has been. I don't know if it's still like that or not.
Well, of course it is. But the thing about it is,
prices probably went up.
There's money being made all over the board with it. I mean, not just from physicians and doctors, but I mean, on the black market side. But again, the horror stories that we hear is like Bill was saying are coming from things like fentanyl that are coming from across the border.
Right.
And and me, and I made the statement earlier, and I mean it with all my heart. If you have sat beside somebody you love with cancer, you will rethink your position on a lot of things, buddy, when it comes to pain management. I remember giving Mom those lollipops, and I cannot give enough admiration for hospice.
Yeah.
We
really had some good ones.
Oh yeah. They were awesome, and they told us flat out there's going to come a point where it's going to be ineffective. Mm-hmm. She's not going to be feeling any pain anyway, and but boy howdy, if smoking a joint with my mom would have eased her pain, I'm sure you're aware of this. One of the great grandbabies was over there at the house, and she was picking this baby up and loving on it the way Mama would do. And come to find out, she was picking this baby up and loving on it with 2 broke vertebrae in her back. No, light me a joint. I'll play with a youngin' then. Fire it up, baby. Like I said,
I'm moving to Colorado.
Well, yeah. We are the Not Quite Right Show, and now you know why, right?
Oh, we ain't quite right.
No.
Not even close to being.
Besides that, you were in the National Guard, weren't you?
I was.
Well,
I'm not anymore.
Shouldn't you be down there on the border doing something?
Well, they don't get to arrest people, and that's the only reason I'd want to go.
What? Did they get to carry any guns?
I don't know. They're just going to be a force to be reckoned with, I think.
That's what I am. A force to be reckoned with. The Not Quite Right Show. We'll be back.
Presence.
All right.
Sorry, the dog made me do it. The dog made me do it. The dog made me do it.
The dog's fault. The dog made him do it. The dog made him do it.
The dog made me do it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go to segment 2, which is a
10-minute segment.
That's that one down here.
Yeah, that's that one.
All right. Here we go, y'all. I guess I should do that. Clear that. Do that. Oh, wait a minute. I ain't supposed to sing. I'm supposed to be doing this other thing. Hi there. We are the Not Quite Right Show.
Wow. That's a good one. That's a dang good one.
I lost my mind for a minute. We are 95.1 FM, 1450 AM. News Talk. W. DNG High Gang.
Hi.
It's been, I did not intend. When I started this show, I did not intend to do over an hour on the drug problem with the opioid. But dadgummit, the boy was just interested.
He was.
He had information.
I hadn't.
Yeah, and
seen Bill in a long time.
Oh, I known Bill. How old am I?
You old.
I'm old.
Older than dirt.
I knew him back when I was just sand.
Sand.
So
back in the late 60s anyway.
Oh yeah. Well, from first grade on.
Yeah.
1966.
Yeah.
His daddy was Dr. Rutter, who was
a dentist.
The only one we had.
Yeah, the only one we had.
In the county. Yep.
Yeah, but he mentioned Dr. Salter and Dr. Way.
Dr. Salter, Dr. Way.
Yeah, Dr. Salter. He would make house calls.
Yes, sir, buddy.
He comes
Dr. Way was the one who operated on my knee.
In our backyard, basically. So.
Well, we lived in his.
Well, whatever. Somebody lived close. We were close.
I went to school with his daughter, Kathy Salter. She was a hottie.
Yeah, she was a hottie.
Yeah. Hottie boomalati.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be
I think she was my age, though. I think
no, she wasn't. No.
She was your age?
She was my age, boy.
I remember.
So you just keep your hands off.
That's fine. I didn't. She was too hotty-totty for me.
She was a hottie boomalati.
Yeah, she was, yeah.
But anyways, National Guard is headed down south.
Yep.
So tell me about it, man. Tell me what is going on. Now they don't have the powers of arrest.
No.
So basically, what I'm hearing and what I'm understanding is they're going to be down there doing what every president has had them do.
Right.
From
Bush, Obama.
Yeah,
they've all had.
They've all deployed the National Guard for some reason.
I think it's this time of year that they usually have a upswing in people coming over.
Well, I saw something on the intraweb, or possibly on one of the news channels that said that last year at this same time there'd been like 25,000 illegal crossings.
17 through March. 17,000.
And this year up to 50,000.
Yeah.
50,000.
Yeah, that they've caught.
Yeah. And what is the percentage of what they caught to what they don't?
I don't know. They didn't catch them.
That's right. You don't know.
How are you going to know?
How are you going to know you didn't catch them?
How are you going to know that?
I've seen people give that statistic, though, and that's a good point. How did they know?
Yeah.
They didn't catch them, so how did they know?
How did they know how many there was?
They don't know.
Yeah, they don't know.
They don't know.
No.
That's why I don't like them polls.
Yeah. I think it's guesswork.
It is. They should just call me and say, Rusty, what's the percentage? I say,
17.
62%.
Yeah.
62%.
Yeah.
And they say 62% of what? I said yes.
Yeah. 62%.
62%.
Yeah, that's all.
I don't. So now they're going to be going down there and they're going to be in a supportive role. Evidently, because the Border Patrol don't have enough helicopters and tanks.
Well, no, but they spend most of their time transporting the ones they've caught, or not just transporting, but housing them and keeping guard over them and that kind of thing.
I could do that.
Where the National Guard comes in, and they'll do stuff like that, which frees up more Border Patrol to be on the border patrolling. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. In other words, all right, let's say you're a Border Patrol agent.
Yeah.
And I'm in the National Guard.
Yeah, well, what they're going to do...
I'm going to come down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit at your computer, and I'm going to do research, and you're going to go arrest somebody.
No, I can't go arrest nobody.
But you done it. I'm the National Guard.
Oh,
you're the Border Patrol.
Yeah. You sit there and take care of my dog.
I'll sit there and take care of your dog.
Take care of my dog, so I can go into and get him ready so he can go back in the field with me so we can catch some peoples.
Okay.
That's what they do.
Maybe we should send
But now maybe we should. They are sending, they are, I think they are doing some airplanes and stuff like that.
Some helicopters and air support.
Yeah,
that kind of of course they will. You know what? I bet you know what the National Guard's got?
Drones.
I love me some drones.
Yeah.
I love me some drones.
Yeah. What they need is a tunnel finder.
We ain't got one of them.
I don't know. They probably do. I
think they got them machines that you run over ground and stuff, and it finds stuff down deep.
Yeah, well, they better not be too deep. They'll fall in. Boom.
Well, and as we know, what I don't know how I feel about this yet. I was almost going to yell about it, but I hadn't decided to yet. Is why all this is happening now, and because to me, this all goes back to a certain
bill.
Omnibus
bill
that some certain president found
Signed.
himself in a whole lot of hot water.
Whole lot of
Did
hot
you see
water.
what they said about us on the news?
I thought that was funny. I really thought that was funny.
I say they said it about us, but
well, no, he was freaking out. That's what they said.
Yeah,
the president was freaking out.
He said the president was freaking out because of
all the news.
Yes, it's the ones that have been supporting him, and the ones who have come out and said that was stupid. I wonder who it was.
It was us.
You think they were talking about us?
I think I told you. I said they're talking about us.
Well, boy, we were the first ones blowing that horn.
Yeah.
But
apparently we weren't the only ones.
Apparently not. I think and I don't see how anybody. That I'm sure there is, because you're always going to have those people who, no matter what he does, is going to support him and say, "Well,
he's the president."
I'm not that guy.
No.
I love him. I think he's done a great job, and I do support him. But when you do something stupid, you know what? I called him a jackass.
You did.
I did.
And I was going bleep 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 bleep.
Yep. It was a. All right. He might not be a jackass, but he has jackass tendencies.
How big are they anyway?
I don't. I measured one just today. Got in trouble for that too.
Yeah, there you go.
That's another story.
Yeah.
But anyways, he might not be a jackass, but he is definitely a carrier. Well,
he just had a bad day.
Well, no, don't you start. Don't you start. Because anytime I've heard him say some silly things, don't get me wrong. And I've seen some tweets that I'd say, you know what, I wished he hadn't have done that. But that's who he is.
Yeah, that's who he is. That's right. We knew that was coming.
But when you get in front of a camera,
like we are,
and there's people's in that room with microphones, and they listening to what you're saying, and you say something so incredibly stupid as, "Well, I would not sign this again."
And I told him so.
Yeah, and I told Congress I'd never sign another. Well, if you wouldn't do it again, don't do it the first time. That's jackass tendencies.
Oh, gosh.
That's your jackass tendencies bubble to the surface. And it wasn't good.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't good. And we got speaking. Our dogs are in training, by the way. So if you happen to hear some barking, it's because we're training them to be
there's probably a cat outside.
Dope smoking dogs, and they're dope smoking dogs.
Yes,
dope finding dogs.
Sniffing.
Dope smoking dogs would be different.
Yeah, completely. We'd really have a hard time then.
We'd never feed them enough. Not enough dog food on the planet. Hey, Russ, you got any of that dog food that tastes like Doritos? Show you right now. Come here, Tut. See, Tut's eyes wasn't always that blue.
No, only one of them. I think he's been messed up to start with. Dog got a blue eye and a brown eye.
Lord, have mercy. What were we talking about?
We're just talking about we're going to break.
Oh, so it don't matter.
No, we'll come back with something else.
We're the Not Quite Right Show, and Lord have mercy. Now you know why. We have our own tendencies.
Yeah, and we ain't gonna say what kind.
No,
but you know.
We'll be back after the break. Clear. Okay.
Cookies.
You're the coolest. My son just brought home milk and cookies. Did your son bring you home milk and cookies? No. My son did.
Yeah. Mint cookies at that.
Mint. And
mint Oreos.
Cold milk.
Cold milk and a 6-pack.
No,
we've been talking about that. We've been talking about that stuff.
Oh, Lord.
We've been talking about that. I think he's addicted.
I think Did you get a prescription for that alcohol, son? Okay.
You did. Some guy outside the grocery store.
Guy named Wilbur.
So I got a prescription for 12. I'll pay if you'll go get them. I'll give you 6 of them.
Oh, man.
Didn't look like he could be much.
We're doing next one is a 12-minute, right?
Yes. And then we done 2 segments already this time.
Yeah. So we're going to be on a 12-minute.
Yeah.
12-minute, 11-minute.
Yeah, 11 minutes, and then we'll do the 8.
Yep. All right, here we're going to clear this out.
He would come back.
My dog's crying because boy left.
He'll come back.
Oh, you know it's bad when I start laughing to start with. We're 95.1 FM, 1450 AM, News Talk, WDNG. It's the Not Quite Right show. I figured, here's my thinking. We were serious enough the first hour.
Yeah.
That you got to allow me some freedom here.
Okay, what's that?
Well, my dog's going crazy.
I think they got into a stash.
I know, we got to go, we got to get that door shut somehow.
Is there a girl dog out there?
No, I don't know what's going on. But ladies and gentlemen, if you hear dogs going crazy in the background, well, you know, I can't really blame a dog. I can't. Her puppies are gone.
Yeah, she's.
You know, for those of you who have been watching and following the puppy saga, well, it's over.
It's over.
All of the puppies have got homes and have gone, and Mama Dog is going ape crazy.
She don't like it.
She don't. She's doing all right though. Now Tut, the you know, he Tut's just being Tut. He don't really care much
he's
about
just right here, as long as you rub him on the head like this.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah.
Anyways, we were talking about just stuff during the week that's been going on. Anything else that you see on the news? And by the way, if you're listening and you say, "Wait, did you see this on the news?" Type it in.
Yeah.
Let us know if there was something that caught your eye on the news, and you say, "What do you think about this, Russ?"
We probably saw it.
Probably did.
We watch a lot of news.
A lot. Sometimes even when I'm at my other job,
I
watch the news. You know, and I get in trouble for that too.
Yeah.
I get in trouble for a lot.
You do a lot.
I do. And most of the time, well, I deserve it.
It's trouble-worthy.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, but, okay. What is all this talk now, and they're bringing it back up, about our commander-in-chief testifying in front of Mueller? It seemed like that was in the news like a few weeks ago, just hot and heavy.
And then it went away.
And then it went away.
And now
it's coming back.
But it's not to do with the Russian.
What?
Yeah.
Well, what's Mueller investigating now?
I don't know. I don't think it was
the
anything to do with
obstruction part, maybe
election or something. I don't know. It wasn't anything to do with Russia. Or they said something. I'm like,
well, I'm gonna tell you what I think. Take it from a law enforcement guy. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to pay close attention to this. I don't give out this advice lightly or very often. But here's
cheaply.
Yeah. But here's some advice I got from a lawyer friend of mine who I had to go see concerning a matter of outlawlessness. Outlawless. I walked into my lawyer's office. I mean, my friend walked into his lawyer's office.
Was that the one I went to?
my friend walked into his lawyer's office and sat down in the chair across from his lawyer. And on the wall behind this lawyer was this huge, what's them big fishes with the bills? Blue marlin.
Well, that or swordfish.
It was a marlin.
Sailfish.
It might have been a swordfish. It had one of them pointed noses.
Okay. Sharks got pointed noses.
Well, not like that.
Oh.
All right, but it was big. And my friend started to talk, and the lawyer said, just hush. I want you to learn a lesson from this fish on my wall.
It's a marlin.
And he said, well, what lesson can I learn from a stuffed fish? And he said, well, if that fish had kept his mouth shut, he wouldn't have got caught.
He wouldn't be on that wall. Good point.
So, that being
that
said,
was worth listening to.
That's right. That's being
good
said,
advice.
Here's some good advice for the president. Don't do it. Don't matter if you're innocent, guilty. Don't do it. They're going to trick you. You're not as smart as you think you are sometimes. They're going to trick you. They're sneaky. They're gonna lock you into something.
This a long time.
They're gonna lock you into a story, and because President, Mr. Trump. Now let's just be honest, okay?
We like you.
We like you. You our president. We love you. But you have tendencies, and one of your tendencies is to embellish. When you start storytelling, let's face it, you embellish a little bit. They will lock your hiney up. You embellish anything. I'm telling you.
De-embellish. That's the opposite of embellish. Just thought I'd say that. De-embellish. It wasn't that funny.
All right, well, I see. We had somebody's talking about baby chicks on our. He gave his kids for Easter. Somebody gave their baby kids baby chicks for Easter, and and it was on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And this fella got in trouble because his wife asked him, said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm looking at naked chicks on Facebook."
Oh,
so, yeah, that's it.
Well, you know, Mr. Zuckerman's been under siege lately.
Oh, I don't understand all I know about that. I want to know who went on Facebook and filled out information and thought for a second it wasn't going to be sold or given away.
I mean, you didn't have any clue. Like, I'll go on there and I'll look for a specific bass guitar, right?
Right.
Next thing you know, I got these same bass guitars coming in from musicians' friends, from eBay and Sweetwater and all that. And I'm like, how did they know I wanted one?
I know. I know.
Well, I'm a stupid.
Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, if you went on Facebook thinking, well, I'm going to keep my stuff private, well, you're a rectal head.
That means it ain't going to happen.
It ain't going to happen. Now, should they? Do you think? I think they need some control. I think they need some regulation on Facebook. I think obviously, because I don't think everybody or just anybody should have access to the information. But that being said, why would you give them any kind of information that you, I'll be honest with you, I don't care.
You ever done a Google search?
Yes, I have.
All right, then. Did you notice all these replies you got?
Yep. And I like you. Like, I mean, if I could regulate one thing, it would not be Facebook. If there was regulation out there that I could write, I would write the death penalty for unwanted phone calls from people trying to
sell you stuff.
Sell me stuff.
Yeah.
I believe you get one shot. I say, look, I don't need my student loans paid off. Or I don't need, I did not fill out any survey. You get that one shot. The next time, death penalty.
Yeah.
Next time you call, sorry. We need a button on our phone, and we
just
can push
it. It's a death ray.
It's a death ray, and that would be the end of them. Oh, they bother me all the time, man. I mean, 3 and 4 times a day. I look down at my phone, and I'm getting a call from the Saskatchewan, Colorado. Oh, yeah. Do I know anybody in Colorado? No. Well, let's find out. It's hi, you recently filled out a survey, and we were like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. And this is your one shot. Next time, I'm pushing the button.
Death ray.
You get the death ray button. There's got to be. I mean, that you want to fix something that would. Oh Lordy, if some senator could fix that, if some president could fix that, I'd vote for life. President for life.
I'm sorry, they can only go for 8 years.
For life. If they can figure out that. Oh, and then they tell you push 9 to be put on our do not call list.
Yeah.
So what they do, they call you back to see, did you really
mean to push 9? No, I did it by accident. Thanks for calling.
Oh,
I have missed you. I have a lot of fun with those calls sometimes. I'm bored.
Well, yeah. Normally, though, if you're like me, and you're at a job somewhere doing something, and you go, oh, you idiot, you idiot. What else would we like to legislate?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. We believe you need a prescription. No.
No, we should make it more available.
Free ice cream.
I don't think
we should have an ice cream day.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
Ice cream day where
everybody brings us ice cream. I like this plan.
I like it too.
Let's do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow is ice cream day. Our address 178 West Southlands.
Oh Lord, now it's out there.
Yeah, well, I didn't say what city and state.
Oh, you almost did.
Tomorrow, wake up with gallons of ice cream. That would, boy, that would be just.
I'd be laying in ice cream.
Oh my gracious! I've got a smile just thinking about that. Butter pecan.
Butter pecan. That's one of my favorites. That and cherry. I like cherry.
So we've gone from opioid abuse to National Guard to ice cream.
My favorite was ice cream.
That's okay. We've still got one more to go. We got one more segment left, gang. We're not done yet. We're just having
not quite right
fun. Yeah, we're not quite right. Coming up, fresh strawberries
with our ice cream.
With our ice cream. We'll be back after the break. Okay. I will actually pull up a news a news source and see if there's anything breaking that we need to cover. Do-do-do-do-do-do. We're looking at a news source, or we will be in a minute.
Unusual case of vanishing bone.
What is this about a bomb exploding?
In the Sam's Club.
In the Sam's Club.
It's California. Yeah.
Suspect in custody. Berating teen girl wearing Trump t-shirt. The bodies of a missing Michigan couple were found in a swamp.
They got swamps in Michigan?
Evidently. They're not very deep ones. Conor McGregor attacks bus full of UFC fighters. Arrest may be imminent. Oh, I got to see this story.
Okay.
I heard he was going to fight. What's his name again?
Yeah, I don't think.
Weatherington, yeah.
Mayweather,
yeah. showing him attacking a bus full of several UFC fighters in New York. It's possible the star may be arrested for his involvement in the melee that left one UFC contender cut and bloodied. Fighters were in attendance at the Barclays Center Arena for a media event ahead of UFC 223. Police sources told the outlet that the NYPD received a call reporting a fight between roughly 25 males and with EMS responding to treat injuries. Michaels just is reported hospitalized from injuries caused by the broken window, and it's unclear if he'll be able to fight in UFC 223 as planned. It is unclear what provoked the fight, but some turmoil surrounding McGregor's return to the octagon may shed some light. So, a UFC fighter is in trouble for fighting. Well, that's
he probably cheated.
It's kind of stupid. That wasn't really worth my time even reading.
Nope.
Anne Hathaway says she is gaining weight. So nope. Man says fish tank released second deadliest poison, 10 hospitalized. What the heck was that? It's really not a lot going on in the news, is he? Arlington National Cemetery slowly running out of space.
President Trump told reporters today he did not know about a $130,000 payment his personal attorney made to an adult film performer, Stormy Daniels, who alleges that.
Yeah, right. I'm sure he didn't.
Yeah, he don't know stuff.
All right, we'll talk about Stormy Daniels one more time. All right, here we go. Last segment of the day. Here we go. We're gonna go black screen. Then, well, you guys know what's gonna happen. Have I got my 850 up?
I don't think so. Nope.
I do now.
Yep.
All right. It's the Not Quite Right Show. Hi, gang. We are back and perusing news headlines from just all over the place.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. And we are 95.1 FM, 1450 AM News Talk, WDNG. And you know, it's depressing sometimes when you look at different news sources to see what kind of stories they're putting out there, and there's just crap. Not that they're not true, not that it's
not that
fake
they are
news.
true.
It's just crap. Who cares? So for those of you who weren't here during the break, we were and saw a news story about McGregor.
Yeah.
UFC fighter.
Conor.
Yeah, Conor McGregor. He got in trouble for what? Fighting. Wait. Imagine that. He's a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what he does.
He fights.
He did that. What's his name? Mayweather.
Mayweather. Yeah.
I heard they were going to fight again. Are they?
Yeah. I don't. To my knowledge, he hadn't signed it yet, but he's supposed to.
He has some good advice for Mayweather. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
You got him in your ring, and that was good. You
and
did
that lasted,
good.
what, 12 rounds?
12 rounds. You did awesome. You won't last 30 seconds in an octagon with that.
He won't go 12 rounds. That's for dang sure.
No, he's only 5.
It's only 5 if it's a championship fight. Usually just 3.
Yeah. So don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
You'll be sad.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. I got coffee. I must drink.
It's okay.
All right.
The
story, the non-story, the pee-pee caca that has been going on with Stormy Daniels.
Stormy weather.
Stormy Daniels.
Stormy weather.
I've heard commentary all week long, and we were on this, like I said, weeks ago, and we said, I know 2 weeks ago I was on here and I said, and I meant it from the bottom of my heart, I don't care.
Yeah. You didn't watch Megyn Kelly today.
I did not.
Yeah, well, I made the mistake.
I don't care.
Well, yeah, but this is funny because Megyn Kelly was interviewing Stormy Daniels' lawyer.
Oh, boy.
Yes, she was.
He's a genius.
He was. And he was saying that he didn't understand because in the segment that ABC did with Stormy Daniels, you know, it was over 2 hours long, and they cut it down to like 15 minutes. And there was a lot of stuff discussed on there. And Megan is going like, well, if it was important, they probably would have kept it in. He said a lot of it was important. Like, did you know she could describe the president's genitalia? And Megyn Kelly went, I don't want to hear that.
I know, right? The same thing with, what's his name? Anderson Cooper on the 360 show, the little program he does.
Yeah.
He was asking some weird questions like that. Well, can you describe what, his looks like?
Oh, apparently she did, but they cut that part out.
Why?
Why? If you could have seen Megyn Kelly's face, it was priceless. It got all red.
I imagine it did. You're talking about her face?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
I want to make sure.
I don't want to hear that.
I don't want to. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to. And again, I say follow the money, as I say with almost everything. Just follow the money.
They won't be coming to my house.
Yeah. Now, I again, and now President Trump. President Trump, I love you. I think you're a smart man. I think you're a great president. I heard today that you said that you didn't know anything about the $130,000 payout to Stormy Daniels. Who do you think you're kidding? Who do you think?
You think if somebody gave $130,000 to get you out of a jail, oh, by the way, Don, I took care of that mess.
Yeah. And if it was one of these,
cost me $130,000. Yeah.
We bought $130,000 worth of
coffee filters.
Yeah, coffee filters. We got lots of coffee filters.
Enough to last next 2 terms.
Coffee filter. Oh, I heard a coffee filter joke. I wish you hadn't said that.
I didn't mean to.
I was watching one of my new favorite shows. Ask me what it is.
Roseanne.
I was watching one of my new favorite songs, and she had a coffee filter joke that just killed me. She said that she didn't have any clean underwear, so she was wearing a coffee filter and a scrunchie. Roseanne! I did not think I was going to like that show, but I have.
It's gotten controversial, but boy, is she getting good ratings.
I tell you what, man, she was dead. I mean, the last one I saw was on
Tuesday.
Child rearing. And it was good. I got to tell you. But we were talking about Stormy Daniels.
Yeah.
Okay, back. President Trump said today that he was unaware. And I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't have billions of dollars. Maybe that has something to do with it, the way I look at things. But if somebody paid somebody $130,000 that was claiming I had been with, well, first off, I would want to know who that was. But I would know about it. I mean, I would know about it. Now, they might have been calling it, like I said, they might have been saying, we bought $130,000 worth of marshmallows. But you knew.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to make me believe that he didn't know.
I just remember something else in that interview. Let me tell you this. This is funny.
Okay.
Megan was wondering why Stormy is suing this guy for slander, right?
Uh-huh.
And she said, I don't understand this because she's suing him for slander for saying that she denied having an affair. And she says, and then she took out this little page at some kind of form that Stormy had written a year or so ago where she denied having the affair with the president.
Right.
And the guy said, so Megan says, well, she says she didn't have an affair, and then he says she didn't have an affair, and now she's suing him for saying stuff that she said about her own self. And the lawyer was like, yes, but she was under duress. She was under threats and all that. She still wrote it for the public to seize.
Well,
and
it's all
it was
smoke,
so crazy.
man.
It was funny.
First off, again, when it comes to that whole situation, that happened in 2006.
Yeah.
I don't care. I wish I could.
I wish I could work with some concern.
I just don't give a rat's
doolally.
And that is for Donald Trump and Miss Donald Trump to hammer out. And if she wants to kick him out, okay, I'm okay with that too. But it's none of my business. It's none of your business. It has nothing to do with our business. So leave it,
It didn't happen in the White House.
It didn't. It did not. Man.
Oh, man, that was quick.
I know, right?
Shoot. Let's do another one.
All right. We're going to tell Dave Mack we're going to do 2 more hours. We're the Not Quite Right Show, gang. It's been fun. And we've had a good time today. And we will be back next week with another Not Quite Right Show. We hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank Bill and Connie for being our guests today. Lots of fun, lots of good stuff. And we will see you next week right here on 95.1 FM, 1450 AM, News Talk, WDNG.
Bye.
I did.
It just took a while.
And you took it a minute.
It took it a minute.
All right, gang. That's going to wrap this one up. What time is it?
11.
It's 11 o'clock. Too late for me to be on here playing around. I got to get up and go to work tomorrow morning. Plus, I got to edit all this down and get it up to the radio station in Alabama. And I got my dogs is all dogging. I told you.
There she is.
There she is. That's Sandy. That's Mama Dog.
Hey. Disappear. The dog that disappears.
No, that's not the dog.
She's going to disappear.
She's going to disappear. You're
pudding head.
All right, you guys. Talk to you later.
Later. Damn, girl. You can stay down. You don't got to jump on me. I see you.